All right, now, another President Mahama it me a presented report at the Attorney General. Then that report no every oral for investigation. Now, aside that, just 1 month in office, President Mahama it me and an Attorney General. Most cases are nanka previous government APC, which borders mostly on corruption, sagleme, ambulance, upunikis, other cases. I say news about say Attorney Generals were chum or one person better cases no subio. And no, and I say Vim lady, any Manasseh Zuri, it me a blasted President Mahama Muchim say the very same things I would me accuse the former government. And I said, Nana Danko Father said, oh yeah, which the NDC came up with this clearing agent tag. No, I said, the Mahama AND or no any pro max. According to Manasseh Zuri, which a write up about me, I can amount. Manasseh described President Mahama say Onukrane de were the chief clearing agent. Now, according to this journalist, one problem and said, even if some council cases now for valid reason, at least come out and explain to Ghanaians as to why you think case are buying person better as bet. So of course I a trasa behind the scenes news case media, then we have a reason to believe say, oh yeah, for political reasons, as a clear people are or more el. And so a then it's a bad precedent because a buying for France Weber, no, so obey the same thing. Now, another film lady say, per the then we can tell, say, even at a point, and sure, a nay oral team I who no cry, bedroom maybe, said you moye a no, a bit me in the sense that the oral team is hoping that you be prosecute people we perceive say or my corruption. Now, Kobasa then this same oral team investigation on President Mahama no kra no ADHD akoma Attorney General no ye betimi akwa ko chichi case na ama afi no aban wi nso bitwam na aban foforo bi nso aba no no nso drop cases no said ye President Mahama nso ye nei so the Mahama no is a bad president na san hwe ye dia according to Vim lady the oral team no adwuma mo ye ne NDC foot soldiers kra na gine hoho no e betimi aye nkwase asem abusuan ye ntie Vim lady for the first part ye ba Manasseh Zuri write up no me oni nyina so e wa ha metimi e di ama wo yen hyensem no ase
the mama the report na oral team no e de koma no ono so hand over Emma Attorney General Yera Dominica Yini. You see, it's very important. Oral starting yen anom ye kwachi go de catch them masa. The Lord does not lie in anybody's mouth. And to be sorry go baby as kwachi what authority do you have to educate? Yet cannot go for the atom. And some people say, now in a even private people, citizens, individual can arrest. There are conditions under which private individuals, civilians can arrest. When there's no police officer, now that's also everybody has a right to self-defense. They have a right to use reasonable force, even minimum force, to protect themselves. It is a would need authority to arrest. Now you are this arrest or service form. And that is why oral actually no, because say they catch them oral for including your senior police officer cum senior lawyer. Only say oral doesn't have the power to arrest. In fact, oral is not backed by any law. It's not backed by any law. President can one executive instrument be to attach it to oral. Until the president has done the right thing, say what you report to know. Say oral for now because you'll be so you can't do that. This is not a banana republic. And to the report now come president, and the president has also done the needful. You see, it's in America, so put soldiers, yeah, Musia, said you every and penny for no hokakra. Musia Yansa every and penny for question penny for no money agro. President Mahama knows rule of law. On him, power is no kutano. On him, the parameters, the extent of the powers that he holds. And on him, baby, also the power he could do. It's in a president Mahama report now. What the Attorney General? President he's an executive president. Power is vested in him. He can do whatever he wants. Into all of one the report, no. The president knows the constitution. Yawa article woman. Every citizen there has a right to due process. Has a right to due process. Article 19 say before I would be better, you must have gone through the due process of law, not a court of competent jurisdiction. And you kangaroo court. And yet tribunal. President said due process must work. Into no the Adenama Attorney General. Second president what to me now, yeah, president or Tigana Konya Kessia so ya sworn in. Ya inaugurating ya man Ghana power in us, yeah, Ghana for 32 million Ghanaians as a say president J. Nebu of mine do it. But the president said no, Attorney General, you want my investigation, me and I say ingredients no of an offense of whether it's stealing, whether it's corruption, whether willfully causing financial loss to the state. If the element or the ingredients of any offense are present, and if so, from Mukojina court. Now the Mukojina court, even Dominica Ini cannot jail anybody. Dominica Ini can prosecute. That's the power that he has. Attorney General to me for being courtroom with that court. And then rolling the time, look at the purported TV do kangaroo court. Who to me for being courtroom me do be a courtroom. No. It's not President Dema Dominica Ini, he's preferring or should be because a report or many complaints. No, Bebre why they will throw them away. Bebre why they will throw them away. Bebre why they will find charges. I do. I want in a substantive charges. A prosecutable in court. No more Mako court. A court to be a family. I didn't panic that the mother and I didn't say she will be near the Nekokota. Yebusao. Assume for that matter, you ABCD within the jurisdiction of this court on this date, time so and so, you did commit an offense or attempt to commit an inchoate offense, being a charge will say conspiracy, abetment of crime, attempt being a then they'll say that you did attempt or you did actually conspire with Asumesi to steal Ghana money, steal Ghana gold, steal charge, you know, near where the actual say Udifo and now dibim. Guilty or not guilty? They are doing plea. One more for your money. Everybody go to me and I got you go. I mean, got you go. No, I'm governor go to. Your due process, our Ghana constitution. It's a right that accrues to any Ghanaian. So unless what the president has done, he's giving the report to Attorney General. Let's wait and see how many of those cases. You see, but they are not. I am here say cases from Opuni case to calling that Asaglemi. To other cases now, NDC by NDC were filing only prosecute. You see, this is the politics that is killing Ghana. Politics now, Ghana and because on Ayisha, just because a opponent and a prosecuting case until they say nolly prosecute. Ghana brache, papa, brache. Just because the opponent and I didn't court into nolly prosecute. Because I doubt to say. All these cases, there's no prima facie case that can establish at least some kind of of course, criminal case, you'll be court. Also prove it beyond reasonable doubt. Then the cases you discontinue. Wrong messaging, and yes, send no. Because at the end of the day, no, NBC ni bano nusu disikabi. NBC ni bano ya bone be on mo be NBC ka de be on ma. Bibia oye na anko ye symptom oye weaknesses. Most of the cases, especially if you look at the case against Shatta, they could not establish that Shatta this kebiao. All that they could say was that Shatta a niema oye no. I'm Ghana government aboka. And in any business transaction, any executive be or take akonyakesi subia, obien himself losses apart except bank eduma. What is auto idea ojom? And yet at the end of the day, no, 1 city and not 2 city be better. It's part of a year first economics. Oh, yes, you can't do my accounting. A bit to me, Rasa. And one wants to say all these cases I want to be established because in the case of a year first, Saglemi, opening case simple here. Some of them, there are other people that prosecution should have rather targeted. But so bear to the nearest prosecution. So let's see, opening so. The other people on the politics in Jomajawa, but in the case of Saglemi, ya calling that I am a work for Kesepa in Wango, Kentinga. Yena in Wango from Adom or you'll be our body. But there are people behind the Saglemi project. There are people. The last time Saglemi NDC got out of power, $50 million was paid to the Saglemi contractor. Where is that money? One a day. Surprisingly, chief director now. Oh yes, Saglemi project first phase, you know. You can't a contractor and say, oh, see 9,500 units. When CMU, na contractor na san ba ministry say mama mi sika ne bi onka ho na mi nipa no ya ma na adwuma wo de wan kasa wo de abusa ho say e wo wo fie chembe hall na wusi 2-bedroom house na wusi na wa ma Mason adwuma say onye na Mason ni nya adwuma ni nwie wo so onye e bi flowing e da no wa ma ni sika wo de be flow so nyina wie ba Mason na flow na Mason na sa ma wo sika ba won cheche mami 200,000 na me sanfanya adwuma 20,000 na me only first phase no wo de be ma no but a brand be ye guarantee between the chief director and the contractor ni we first phase no and fini sometimes $50 million the amount contractor no ni na government of Ghana is sika. At the end of the day no we have been told say contractor chief director now or review contract because according to minister who is calling that or no calling home because technically no we should my minister be I didn't be ministry on your technical person. Political appointee into more technical people near chief directors. Chief director made to me on his own. If that is true, that is the story that we have been given. If that is true, the chief director made to me a review contract from phase 1 to phase 2. Saying to me a deploy speaker with this best. How can the chief director alone review a contract and then also disburse money to the contractor without the knowledge of the ministry? And so you catch there. Asempa, you know, you see chief director and whoa, the chief director is dead. Contractor not yet one of my cases starting or court a contractor is whoa. Hey, God, they see also. It's the same. Me see the way cases no. The way say we are born Kema party mra power. You should technicalities delay a court process. O party baba no much ma filing no the process. And it is a Ghana scholarship. At the end of the day, we must find out between the contractor, between the chief director, between everybody who is in between. We can't continue like this. So Donald Trump across America, so yeah, charging. I'm here indicted on how many 32 charges. Oh yeah, I'm suspended because I am sitting president to me jail. No, he has the conviction on him. Indictment is on his head. Ghana kwani debi obi aban Mbappe you know, and that's one thing that I don't know what is happening under because under President Mahama by first President Mahama's government even Abugapele was jailed. Abugapele oye ni nipa ojelino. Abugapele oye ni nipa ojelino. You see, I would say maybe one my tree book. Where is this country going? Where are the institutions? Why the way we are moving Ghana, no, you better Ghana, will be on respecting rule of law or Ghana view. That case is in there must be a reason. And nobody Obia said Dominica in why he has filed discontinuation of the case. Why? That was Attorney General. You must explain to us on which basis did you discontinue the case? Evidence be anyone now. Politics now MPP for no more. Of course, MPP for so there were. You can see some of the cases so punid they're politics. But then I was so much Ghana for no BRT say this and this and this and this and the cases near politically motivated. Therefore, we are discontinuing it. At least you owe the people that much. You owe the people that much. But we are and the cases, and you see, I feel sorry for Attorney General workers because your lawyer is a kuku damomugo Attorney General department. Yeah, you so just like that. Because in Shemo I'll be here. I'm saying what me my evidence. Now there no court, no more banner case way. Just say omo brain na ekwa. And the free na ekwa say it's a Dominica in so corporate NPP or a case. No so charge NPP for. NPP for so be body later to say no mo so ma ba na filing only prosecute. Where are we going? Some complaints na Dominica in. Hey Mahama dia ma Dominica in no. Before so make sure ma court almost so be yes and then say way oh we are calling this witness, oh this witness is not there, and the lawyer way let's adjourn, give us another date, we will come back this date, my lord, this date almost so be both delay tactics for aura impossible. At the end of the day no aura no impossible almost so be both delay tactics almost so ma no almost so ma file no only prosecute no ma koda. Just government we were doing free uncle. It's just sad. It's just sad.
Auntie, film lady Ebo Jano. na che say Manasseh zuru nso ebo wins a ono nso ebo na adwen in writing. Now, according to Manasseh, or say chief clearing agent, Ghanaians deserve to know the basis for the government's mass discontinuation of cases against officials and associates of the previous Mahama administration. A few of the cases, such as the prosecution of the Democracy Hub protesters, raise concerns among Ghanaians. One may not be surprised that those charges.
Oral issue, yeah, be the President Mahama de.
Or say, a few of the cases, such as the prosecution of the Democracy Hub protesters, raise concerns among Ghanaians. One may not be surprised that those charges are dropped. A majority of the cases, however, borders on corruption and charges of causing financial loss to the state. However, causing financial loss to the state. For a president vowing to reset Ghana and prosecute government officials who have stolen or caused money to be stolen from the public purse.
Oral issue.
A majority of the cases, however, border on corruption and charges of causing financial loss to the state. However, for a president vowing to reset Ghana and prosecute government officials who have stolen or caused money to be stolen from the public purse, the mass clearance is a wrong start. It's a dangerous precedent. What President Mahama is telling the NPP officials his administration will charge is very What President Mahama is telling the NPP officials his administration will charge is very simple. If you are charged, drag the case as long as you can, and if your party comes into office, the court processes will be truncated and you will be set free. So, which is almost the same thing I've been leading. So, concerning the clearing of officials are involved in scandals, our cases, a war court. Or to also say, this does not portend well for accountability. This dangerous precedent defeats Mahama's resolve to fight corruption and defeat such future endeavors. For a president whose administration began the prosecution that resulted in the jailing of its own party people in the JIDA scandal, this is a new low and a faulty step. The Attorney General must not truncate prosecution just because he has the power to do so. The power belongs to Ghanaians and must be exercised in our interest. The courts should be allowed to deal with the evidence and decide on the guilt or innocence of the persons charged. In some cases, the state lost vast sums of money, and we should have answers. Even with the ambulance case, in which the persons charged were acquitted by the court, the state had lost money. The scandal was not fabricated, even if the wrong actors may have been targeted. I produced a documentary on those ambulances titled Grounded Wheels on YouTube, and I had no doubt the ambulance procurement was a scandal. I was surprised at the fixation on Japa and Akuffo, while officials of the ministry that procured the ambulances and labeled them substandard after failing to inspect them before shipment were left untouched. Had the procurement not been a scandal, the Mahama administration would not have moved the ambulances from the forecourt of the State House and hidden them at the Air Force Base in Burma camp. People were dying for lack of ambulances, and the movement was to keep the problematic vehicles from the public eye. I entered and filmed the ambulances for my documentary, and some of the defects matched the inspection report that labeled them unfit for use as ambulances. So if the case in which the defendants were set free was an actual scandal, one can imagine the rest. I nicknamed Akuffo the chief clearing agent, and Mahama seems to relish that title. Let us not forget that the persons Akuffo cleared and publicly defended were not all clean. Pius Hajide, for instance, who was cleared of his involvement in the Australia's visa scandal, publicly confessed his role when he was campaigning to be the MP for Asujaman in the just ended election. If the government clears all its all party people standing trial, The people whose power the government exercises must be given sound reasons. Operation Recover All Loot cannot succeed when its implementers are engaged in Operation Clear All Looters. And we can do better than pick lessons from failing democracies like the United States. So we, Manasseh during so a write-up with me concerning the recent clearing of cases Attorney General no rough every court, all because they feel, according to what speculations and then according to Manasseh and the Avim lady more no, they feel say as a because more political parties affiliated into and if says there, then cases are Mahama so oral ni team no or in the name of ya buying into ya recover state loot no ebeye kakra and answer in future to come omo so be involved in oral scandal be ebeba no later aban bi so beba no ma be clear o na recover sa then Mahama any NDs no they wouldn't have any say because as a omo sha de bi ase a bad the omo ye no at least Ghanaians deserves an explanation as to why omo echichecha cases no rough we vim lady and afin so no Manasseh Azure ya che say omo etimi attack President Mahama over the recent cases so rough Saglemi Opuni ambulance cases other cases ahodo Attorney General no echim say aban no any interest so betimi atoa so explanation bia no intimi embaye abusua ho nsem eno no. The comment section is open betumi so akere wadwen won nsem ye ho afin so na first time I have Phoenix Media medi edisi ko betumi subscribe to channel say be post video also ubenya update na watimi ehu de eko